Martin Sheen. He's basically taking on the mass slaughter of home aquariums. Basically, I guess I don't know how much he had in this new documentary. I don't know if he was just narrator or whatnot, but it's basically, he calls this new doc a powerful wake-up call. Which basically, I think the name of the documentary is Aquariums, the Dark Hobby. Now, I'm not gonna go out there and say that there is not any dark portions of this hobby. There are a lot of dark corners in this hobby, a lot of dark practices, a lot of things we could do better. But I think in the long run, I think we are slowly improving. I know if you watch Dan's Fish, he does a lot in terms of trying to fix those dark practices. He goes on a lot about how we should be properly shipping these fish, which a lot of it I do agree with. We do need to be careful on how we are shipping these fish across things, places. Primarily, I am a good advocate of buying local whenever you can. Find a good fish store out there that actually has good practices. The ones actually do quarantine their fish, keep healthy fish. I know I did a recent one. It was a local fish store I visited. I probably would not go to that fish store to buy fish. I probably wouldn't buy fish from them personally, unless I am medicating them and quarantining them for a good month or two. Yeah, but basically, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we need to do better. A lot of practices out there. I know a lot of it deals with saltwater side of things, on how they go to the reefs and collect the fish there. I know there was I think it was with I want to say it's out of Sinkless. I think a lot of times they used to use cyanide to actually go in there and stun all the fish and collect them that way, which I don't think is a good practice. I think a lot of the hobby though is typically going more towards trying to go to the home breeding situations where they could breed them in captivity for resale, for the hobby. Although that's not always the case, and a lot of the types of fish, a lot of fish can't really be bred in captivity, and I think a lot of that is actually on the saltwater side of things. Although there's a lot of on the freshwater side of things that cannot be bred in captivity as well. And in terms of that, a lot of that just has to make sure that we're shipping things better. A lot of companies need to be shipping these fish out better, quicker. I do work in delivery, where I see a lot of things coming in that are just not packaged properly. And this is not even, I'm not even talking about live animals or live fish. I'm just talking about actual products that people are shipping. If people aren't shipping those properly, chances are they're not shipping live animals properly either. I've seen people ship out bendable items. I've seen it where they ship out something like a poster or something. I don't know exactly what it was because I didn't open the package. All I know, it was shipped basically just in gift wrap. It could still bend in the gift wrap, and instead of actually shipping it properly and making sure the item can't be bendable, they just write "do not bend" all over the place. And honestly, that's not going to cut it, because basically these machines, the way these packages are handled, you need to make sure that they're packaged properly. And same thing goes for fish, making sure that you are packaging properly. And I think that's what a lot of Dan's Fish focuses on, is making sure that people are starting to ship out things properly. And I've seen a lot of live streams where he even tries to get his suppliers to ship things to him properly by not jam packing these bags with just too many fish, which is one thing he's pretty much advocating, which I agree with. Things do need to change. Things need to get better. But also in the same token, there is a lot of organizations out there. I think Project Piaba is one of them. I believe Amazon Center for Ornamental Fish deals with this as well. Yeah, Amazon Center for Ornamental Fish deals with it as well, where they're basically they're trying to promote sustainable fish recovery. I don't want to say recovery. Uh, well, basically taking tropical fish for ornamental use for locals there to focus on that rather than having the people there focusing on using the uh, gold. They're trying to focus getting away people from gold mining there to actually look, hey, you have this valuable economy, you have this valuable commodity here in tropical fish that are very popular in the fish hobby, and you should focus on getting those rather than gold mining, which will damage those fish ecosystems. But basically, yeah, I do agree that there's a lot of dark areas in this hobby. Um, a lot of fish stores don't keep fish properly. They keep their things overstocked. They don't take care of them. They just get them from the suppliers and they just throw them in the tank for sale. And a lot of times they don't treat them. A lot of times they have parasites transferring to the home aquarium, which a lot of people do always recommend setting up those quarantine tanks for that specific reasons. Like I was mentioning that little fish store I was kind of visiting recently. I saw some unhealthy fish there, unfortunately. I do agree that there's a lot of darkness, but there's always room to improve. And also keep in mind there's other programs, there's other good things that come out of the fish hobby. There's the CARES program, which helps promote breeding in terms of breeding these fish up, getting a strong stock for it. That way they can release it back into the environment. Because there's quite a few fish out there that do not exist in the wild anymore, primarily because us humans destroyed their habitat, not related to even the fish hobby, just other reasons like gold mining, other activities that just damaged their ecosystem to a point where they killed off complete species that are in the wild. But however, we're actually grabbed for the aquarium hobby, which are now being bred in the aquarium hobby. And a lot of groups like CARES, their plan is to actually reintroduce those fish. I know there's a lot of goody ads. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I really am pronouncing that right. Unfortunately, I probably am not. But there's a lot of goody ads that do fall in that situation where their local habitat was destroyed and they no longer exist in the wild, or they do now because of CARES, which is always a nice aspect of the aquarium hobby. But like I said, there is, like Martin Sheen saying, there is a lot of darkness in the hobby that does need to be improved. Us fish keepers do need to do a better job as well, making sure we're taking care of the fish we have, and also promoting sustainable habits in the whole hobby as a whole. There's a lot I could probably agree on this documentary. However, I don't think it's to the point where I'm going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm just not going to say, okay, yeah, we shouldn't be doing it just because of this, and that. There's a lot of good in the fish keeping hobby as well as bad. It's a matter of just making sure we are striving to take all that darkness out and leaning more towards the good sides of the hobby.